Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha, Rakha, Kodash, giving down honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, giving reverence to the brothers that's pushing out the gospel throughout the four corners of the world. Peace and blessings and infinite salutation be to the elect, the house of David, that the Lord is raising up in these last days, which is made up of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and scattered Israelites amongst the other nation that look like the other nation, but according to your pedigree, you go back to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. And with that, I want to say Shalom. I just want to go into a quick lesson as we approaching Jacob's trouble. And day by day, things are just rapidly sparking up, you see? Just rapidly sparkling up, man. And I mean, it's all through the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And the Lord has told us that in these last days that He's going to shorten the days for the elect's sake. All right? But with that being said, let me open up with 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And I got a clip as well too that I want to show. Alright, just going into like current events and just keeping up with the things that's going on, right? Now, once again, it's a lot of things that's going on. You see, that sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep up. But as a whole, you know, you wanna keep a watch and always be an alert of everything that's going on, man. You know, and not be in darkness and being distracted by the earthly, worldly things of this world. All right. Now, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself." All right. So you got to measure the times diligently within itself. All right. Because one thing you have to keep in mind is that we don't know exactly when the day of the Lord is going to be, but we are measuring the times. We're keeping up with current events and things that's going on in the world, so you can be up to date and not fall asleep. You see, and it says, "And when thou seest part of the time," so like, and it says, "When thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time within the highest will begin to visit the world with which he made." And we're seeing that the Lord is visiting the world that he had made, you see. And we're at the time that the Lord is gonna send more plagues, all right, to show us that he's closer than ever. Okay. I just want to show a clip. Alright. And just, Salaki, I don't know what the heck I just did. But I just want to show a clip real quick.
The arrests are coming and it's going to get so...
And how you can see how that the Lord has put a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. Alright. Matter of fact, let me get that. And it's going to affect all the people, man. Especially here in the soils of Babylon the Great. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. And I'm just going to go straight to the point. Isaiah 19 and verse 14. And it says, "The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and he has caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit." And that's the mentality, and that's the condition of America right now. And this Egypt is talking about America. Okay, it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about America, because when you go and you read this whole chapter, all right, it goes into how that the children of Israel will be waking up in these last days and are going to be praising the Lord in these last days. The house of the house of Judah, and the house of Ephraim, which is the whole house of Israel, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so this is how we know that this is not talking about ancient Egypt, but this is talking about modern-day Egypt, which is America. That's why when you go into the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8, it says that this place, the great city, is known as Sodom and Egypt. Spiritually, it's known as Sodom and Egypt. All right, it's talking about America. It's not talking about ancient Egypt. All right, the reason why America is known as modern-day Egypt is because the whole house of Israel is serving captivity as ancient Egypt, and that never happened before like it did here in America, modern day Egypt. All right, and that's the reason why this place America is known as Egypt, the house of bondage. Now it says once again, Isaiah 19:14, it says, the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and that has caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And I'm gonna show you this clip, and all you gotta do is just look up the man, just keeping up with everything that's going on at the White House and everything that this damn devil is doing. You know, it just shows that, you know, his actions is showing. All right, especially Donald Trump. You know, their actions is showing that they're just losing it, man. You know, and it's just showing how, like, they don't even have control of this country. All right, because this place is going down the drain. It's going down the drain. Okay, it's because the Lord has put a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. All right, and it says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head nor tail, branch or rush may do. And it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And this is the reason why, with everything that this devil is doing, all right, especially now that he's declaring war on cartels, you know, so-called declaring war on cartels, even though he's the one that's behind it. All right, he's the one that started it, you know, which that's a lesson for another time. But and this is the reason why he's afraid, and he's declaring war on cartels, which, you know, is which are mostly the northern tribe, you so-called Latinos, you see, because you are Israelites. But really, he's declaring war on the Israelites. All right, and that's the time that we in, that this damn devil, he's declaring war on the Israelites, because he knows that he has but a short time. It's because he knows that the children of Israel are waking up. And this is the reason why they're going so hard on deporting so-called Latinos. The reason why he's going so hard on deporting so-called Latinos is because you are Israelites. And he's afraid of what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is that the children of Israel are waking up. Because it's one thing when you see the house of Judah waking up to they are as Israelites. Because one thing is that Esau, what he did was he destroyed and oppressed more the house of Judah. All right. So if Judah is out here trying to wake up, all right, it'll seem to the world like Judah is just bugging out. But when you see Judah and Ephraim, all right, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans waking up and realizing that we're the whole house of Israel, then there's a problem. All right. And this is the year 2025, and we're going to the year 2026. And you got the children of Israel waking up. You got Latinos out here, all right? You got Latino faces and Native American faces, all right, that's acknowledging that we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, the same as Judah is, you see? And that is a threat, all right? That is a threat to this devil's system. And this is the reason why he's bugging out and he's doing what he's doing, because he knows that he's losing his rulership. So it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts. And the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts is starting by us waking up to who we are as the children of Israel. You see? Now we're coming closer and closer to the day of the Lord, and you're gonna start seeing the judgment and the plagues and the evil that the Lord is gonna send to this place, America, which is Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures, or is known as Egypt as well too. And it says, which he shakes over it. All right. Yeah. Now, with that being said, let me just go to the clip.
Arrests are coming, and it's going to get so bad that the Pentagon, the federal Pentagon, is prepped and getting ready to go in to the major cities that Trump is going to make the arrest at. Guys, this is so big that even he's going after the mayors. He's going after the people that have allowed crime, illegal aliens to run rampant in their cities, and Trump is literally using the Pentagon to come in. And a lot of people are saying that this isn't right. Trump shouldn't be doing this. But Trump says he's had enough of it. He said, we're going to get the illegals out. We're going to stop all the crime. The federal Pentagon is getting involved with going into...
It's funny how he says he's going to stop all the crimes. And that's what's going on, you know, so-called going into these different type of major cities, going into D.C., talking about they want D.C. back and stop all the crimes and so on and so forth. But you the one that brought all these crimes to the streets. You the one that gave power to the cartels. The power that these cartels have, you gave them that. You see? The reason why you have the streets of Babylon the Great full of drugs and guns and so on and so forth, and the streets of America is just full of crime and just wickedness and so on and so forth, which the children of Israel is the one that's committing these crimes, 2/3 to be exact, right? The reason why these people is bugging out and doing all these different type of crimes and wickedness is because of you. You the one that started this, and this is the reason why you're known as the devil in the book of Revelation. That's the reason why the book of Revelation is known as the book of Revelation, all right? Because it's revealing who you are. All right, you are the devil. The devil, the word devil means to slander somebody. You have been slandering the children of Israel. All right, and now you coming out here and saying, look what these people is doing, and you talking about that you're the Superman and you trying to stop all these crimes, but you're the one that did it. You're the problem, and that's the problem. The problem is never going to acknowledge that they are the problem. You see, but it's all right, because all of this is supposed to happen. All right, this is the spirit of prophecy. This is the spirit of the Lord. All right, and it's showing you who this devil is, and it's showing you that we're closer and closer unto the return of the Lord. All right, and more we're going to start to see, all right, the spirit and the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shah.
The major cities to go as Trump makes the arrest, because they know intel is showing that there will be riots, there will be protests, and even the Chicago mayor has called for unrest and to fight against what he calls the tyranny that's coming in, which is Trump. Guys, this is what's
gonna bring up wars and more protests and the people going against the government. All right, because even the simple-minded citizen, all right, even the simple, citizen that don't have the knowledge of this truth, but they starting to realize the BS, all right, of these devils, man. You see, they starting to realize the BS of the elites and the BS of the Pentagon and so on and so forth, man. Okay, and all of this is going to lead to more chaos. All right.
Doesn't get any bigger than this. We knew something big was coming. We knew Trump was going to do something big, but he has officially crossed the line of no return, and it is bad.
You see, and once again, it's all through the will of the Lord. So with that being said, let me go back to Isaiah 19, and I'm just going to go back to the top. Verse 2. Because it said that even Donald Trump is coming, he's coming against who? The mayors. All right.
That there will be riots. Get the illegals out. We're going to stop all the crime. The federal Pentagon is getting involved with going into the major cities to go as Trump makes the arrest, because they know intel is showing that there will be riots. But Trump says he's had enough of it. He said, we're going to get the illegals out. We're going to stop cities. And Trump.
Forgive me, I know he mentioned something too.
Illegal aliens to run rampant in their cities. And Trump is literally using the Pentagon to come in. And a lot of people are saying that this isn't right. Trump shouldn't be doing this. But Trump says he's had enough of it. He said, we're going to get the illegals out. The mayors. He's going after.
All right.
The arrest act, guys. This is so big.
This is what I wanted to bring out. Just to make a point real quick, a quick point.
To go in to the major cities that Trump is going to make the arrest at, guys. This is so big that even he's going after the mayors. He's going after the people that have allowed crime, illegal aliens to run rampant in their cities,
and that shows you that within this place. And going back to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, and it says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And we saw that too in the year of, what was that? We saw that as well in the year of 2024. 2024, and when you had Biden allowing all these illegal immigrants coming into the soils of America, and you had Texas trying to block off the border and so on and so forth. You see? And this is happening right now as well too, man. So it's like it's always a division within this place. All right? So it says, Isaiah 19 and 2, and it says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the chambers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And this is, and we seeing how, in the spirit, we're seeing how that Esau, Edom are going to their source, which is Satan, because the political party is done. The White House is done. It's nothing but it's a show, man. All right, it's entertainment. It was just there for a show. It was there to give you an illusion, all right, to the citizens to believe that this was a country, okay? All right? Now we're starting to see who's really behind the strings, all right, which is the elites, and, and they're all coming to the fact that they have no other choice but to which they already created the chaos, all right? Chaos is going to happen, man, all right? And we're seeing it. We are literally walking into it. All right, but now they're going to conclusion, which is that NWO, that New World Order. All right, but that's not going to happen until chaos. All right, and martial law being involved and so on and so forth. And we're seeing that. We're literally stepping into that. Okay, and that's going to do nothing but, once again, bring chaos and people bugging out. All right. This is the book of our 2nd Ezra 15. And I'm going to start verse 10. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter." And it's talking about the children of Israel. All right. Because we're literally being led as a flock to the slaughter, especially with all this this bullshit that's happening right now, right? Because we're going to be affected by this. And it says, "And I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues." And we're seeing Egypt being smitten with the plagues, all right, being punished with the plagues, man. That's sent by the Lord. And it says, "As before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Most High God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." All right, which is the point. I'm getting to the point. Verse 15, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And we're seeing so many things that's giving so many people to fight for. All right, you got race wars. You got Esau, Edom. All right, the simple-minded Edomites that's have had enough with the fact that they realizing that they're the problem, and they realizing that they're losing their power and they're losing their country, so they're gonna do whatever they got to do to win it back. So you're gonna have a different type of race wars, and you're gonna have a different type of just the simple-minded class, middle class, seeing that they're losing their American dream, so they're gonna do whatever they have to do to survive. All right, and then you have the poor class and so on and so forth. So this is gonna be a lot of things that people are gonna have to fight for. Okay. And it says, "For there shall be sedition amongst men." Now, going into that word being sedition amongst men is going against the government. Okay, going against the government. You see, and I mean, they don't make no purge movies for no reason. Okay, they don't make all these different type of purge movies for no reason, man. All right, giving all the people the free will to commit all different type of crimes, and that's the time that we're coming into, and you were pampered. All right, you were pampered and programmed to for this time to come. You see, because you have been brought up in this society where wickedness, to accept wickedness and to like glorify wickedness, man. All right. So how you think it's gonna be when people are not gonna care for the law, you see, for the law of the land, or they're not gonna care for any type of morals. All right. So it says, "For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor prince." And the kings and princes going into your government. You know, you got the mayor, all right. You know, you got all these different governments throughout the states, and so on and so forth. And it says, "In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because of the pride of the city shall be trouble. The houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see? And we're coming into that time, man. This is the reason why everything is happening how it's happening. You got food prices going up, all right? Especially when within the last 5 years, you had seen certain type of events or certain type of things that's leading to food shortage. All right, and you know, so we're close. We're very close, man. All right, we're stepping into. We're literally walking into according to the scriptures, it's known as Jacob's trouble. All right. Going to the book of. I'm just gonna end it with this right here. Book of Matthew 24. This is the book of Matthew 24. And in verse 20. Matthew 24 and verse 20. And it says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. And that's so funny that we're not right now. We're in, we're coming into the end of 2025, all right? Which we're going into the the dead middle of winter. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the seventh day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And what time is that talking about? It's talking about Jacob's trouble. Okay? When you go into the book of Jeremiah chapter 30, all right, in the book of Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Matter of fact, let me go to Jeremiah just because I quoted. This is the book of Jeremiah 30. And I'm going to start at verse 4. And it says, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. And it's talking about the whole house of Israel, all right, which is talking about these last days. For thou sayest the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and out of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All right? Meaning that people are going to be afraid. You're going to see the fear of people, man. All right? Even people that never experience true fear. Verse 7, it says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So no other time throughout history is going to be compared to the time that we're coming into, which is known as Jacob's trouble. The reason why it's known as Jacob's trouble is because we're going to be the ones that's going to be affected the most. All right? Because why? Because the devil knows that he has but a short time. Okay, so he's going to come with that great wrath. Matter of fact, let me get that. Revelations 12. And straight to the point, verse 12. And it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, to the children of Israel, because the Bible was made for the children of Israel, having great wrath. So the devil is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And it says, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. So all of this is happening because he realizing that he has but a short time. The children of Israel, is especially the elect, is waking up to who we are as a people. Okay? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are waking up to who we are as a people. We are realizing who we are. All right? We're putting our differences to the side, and we're humbling ourselves and knowing our place. All right? Being the children of Israel. So it says, at last, going back to Jeremiah 30 and verse 7, it says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, because the Lord is going to protect, and he's going to deliver his elect. So going back to Matthew 24, and now verse 21 again, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, all right, such as was none since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So we're coming to a time that cannot be compared to ancient time. Anything that happened throughout ancient time cannot be compared to the times that we're coming into. Okay? And it says, verse 22, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And this is the reason why, all right, for especially for brothers and sisters that is in this truth, you realize and you start to see how the time is like moving quickly. You see, it's because the Lord's shortening the days, man. Especially in the last 10 years, you experience the days shorten. All right, and it's because the Lord is doing that. You see, but I didn't want to make this lesson too long. Lord willing, I made my point. I hope that this lesson was edifying as well as uplifting unto those that believe in this gospel. All right. And with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha, Rakha, Kodash. And with that, I want to say Shalom.